has a control variable which we call S sender, that points to the only one slot in the send window. The receiver also has a control variable which we call R receiver, that points to the only slot in the receive window. So the in stop and wait protocol, the acknowledgement number always announces in modulo 2 arithmetic the sequence number of the next packet expected. Now we'll see about finite state machine. So finite state machine. Okay, so finite state machine for stop and wait protocol. Then whatever is a protocol, it is a connection oriented protocol. Both ends should be in the established state before exchange of data packets. The states are actually nested in the established state. So this diagram is going to illustrate the finite state machine. Okay. Okay, this diagram is for finite state machine. Start, ready, then blocking, then from there ready, this all continues, timeout and all. Okay, you can see. Start, ready, make a packet with sequence number S, save a copy and send it. Start the timer. Then blocking. Then error free acknowledgement with is equal acknowledgement number equal to S plus 1 arrived. Slide the send window forward, S is equal to S plus 1, stop the timer. Timeout, resend the packet in the window, restart the timer. Corrupted acknowledge or error free acknowledgement with acknowledgement number not related to the only outstanding packet, discard the acknowledgement. Okay, so this is how you can see at sender, this is at receiver. Corrupted packet arrived, discard the packet. And error free packet with sequence number R arrived, deliver the message to application, slide the receive window forward, R is equal to R plus 1, send acknowledgement with acknowledgement number is equal to R. Then so this error free packet with sequence number is equal to R arrived, discard the packet if it is duplicate, send acknowledgement is with acknowledgement equal to R. So this we'll see. Okay, now so this diagram is going to show sender. Now we'll see about sender. The sender is initially in the ready state, but it can move between the ready and blocking state. The variable S is initialized to 0, ready state. When the sender is in this state, it is only waiting for one event to occur. If a request comes from the application layer, the sender creates a packet with the sequence number set to S. A copy of the packet is stored and the packet is sent. The sender then sends the only timer. The sender then moves to the blocking state. Blocking state. When the sender is in this state, three events can occur. One, if an error-free acknowledgement arrives with acknowledgement number related to the next packet to be sent, which means acknowledgement number is equal to S plus 1 modulo 2, then the timer is stopped. The window slides, S is equal to S plus 1 modulo 2. Finally, the sender moves to ready state. B, if a corrupted acknowledgement or an error-free acknowledgement with acknowledgement number not equal to S plus 1 modulo 2 arrives, the acknowledgement is discarded. Third, if a timeout occurs, the sender resends the only outstanding packet and restarts the timer. Restarts the timer. Next, receiver. Okay, we'll see about receiver. The receiver is always in ready state. Three events may occur. One, if an error-free packet with sequence number equal to R arrives, the message in the packet is delivered to the application layer. The window then slides. R is equal to R plus 1 modulo 2. Finally, an acknowledgement with acknowledgement number equal to R is sent. B, if an error-free packet with sequence number not equal to R arrives, the packet is discarded, but an acknowledgement with acknowledgement equal to R is sent. If a corrupted packet arrives, the packet is discarded. So we'll see example. So this example shows the stop and wait protocol. You can see in the diagram, packet 0 is sent and acknowledgement has come for packet. Then packet 1 is lost and resent after the timeout. Packet 1 is lost, packet 1 is resent after the timeout. Then the resent packet 1 is acknowledged and the timer stops. Packet 0 is sent and acknowledged, but the acknowledgement is lost. You can see here, no? Acknowledgement is lost. You can see here. Acknowledgement is lost. Okay, the sender has no idea if the packet or the acknowledgement is lost. So after timeout, it resends again packet 0. You can see here packet 0 has been resent when it is acknowledged. So this is regarding the stop and wait protocol. Next we'll see about efficiency. The stop and wait protocol is very inefficient if our channel is thick and long. What does we by thick mean? Our channel has a large bandwidth, high data rate. By long we mean round trip delay is long. Product of these two is called bandwidth delay product. Think of the channel as a pipe. Bandwidth delay product is a volume of the pipe in bits. Pipe is always there, not efficient if it is not used. The bandwidth delay product is a measure of the number of bits a sender can transmit through the system while waiting for an acknowledgement from the receiver. So next we'll see what is meant by. So we'll see the example. Example. Assume that in a stop and wait protocol system, the bandwidth of the line is 1 Mbps and 1 bit rates, and 1 bit takes 20 milliseconds to make a round trip. What is the bandwidth delay product? If the system data packets are 1000 bits in length, what is the utilization percentage of the link? So we'll go for the solution. The bandwidth delay product is 1 into 10 raised to 6 into 20 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, so it is 20,000 bits. 20,000 bits. Then the system can send 20,000 bits during the time it takes to go from the sender to the, it takes for the data to go from the sender to the receiver and the acknowledgement to come back. However, the system sends only 1000 bits. So we can say that the link utilization is only 1000 divided by 20,000 or 5%. For this reason, in a link with a high bandwidth or long delay, the use of stop and wait protocol wastes the capacity of the link. Next example. Next example, I think you'll not be able to see. I'll give the statement of problem is, what is the utilization percentage of the link in above example if we have a protocol that can send up to 15 packets before stopping and worrying about the acknowledgement? So the solution is, the bandwidth delay product is still 20,000 bits. The system can send up to 15 packets or 15,000 bits during a round trip. This means that the utilization is 15,000 divided by 20,000 or 75%. Of course, if they are damaged packets, the utilization percentage is much less because packets have to be resend. Now we'll see about what is meant by pipelining. Pipelining means in networking and in other areas, a task is often begun before the previous task has ended. In stop and wait protocol, there is no pipelining because a sender must wait for a packet to reach the destination and be acknowledged before next packet can be sent. So whatever is the pipelining does apply to our next two protocols because several packets can be sent before a sender receives feedback about the previous packets. Pipelining improves the efficiency of the transmission if the number of bits in transition is large with respect to the bandwidth delay product. So this is about pipelining. So the next protocol is go back N protocol. So I'll explain about this go back N protocol in the next lecture. You study about this protocol and I will explain in the next lecture the go back N protocol. I'll stop here.